Modi's latest comments, however, are a reminder that the long-standing tensions between the two countries still persist.
A man's been arrested by UK police investigating suspected arson attacks at two properties linked to Prime Minister Keir Starmer. The 21-year-old's been detained on suspicion of arson with intent to endanger life. From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
From the studios of Extreme Sports in Hastings, Nebraska, we present Huddle Up, a great way to start your day with all the news, weather, and sports you need, interesting interviews, and friendly conversation from two guys that go together like Scooby and Shaggy. Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports. Welcome to a Tuesday, the 13th day of May for 2025. Mike Will, Tyson Havronic, ready to start your day the right way with all of your news, weather, and sports, and whatever else comes up here during the next hour or so. Again, we invite you to join us anytime. 402-834-1330 is our telephone number, 402-834-1330. You can definitely drop us a message in the next hour or so on our social media sites as well, as we'll be monitoring those comments. Going to be talking about the Nebraska men's basketball team. Another couple of games have been scheduled at the Sanford Pentagon up in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Nebraska going to be facing an old conference foe that we've played just 2 times since 2011. We'll tell you about that coming up. A Nebraska native with a long, successful history as a professional player will be joining the Nebraska women's basketball program as a graduate assistant manager for the 2025-2026 season. State soccer tournament got underway yesterday. Class A girls were on the field. We've got some stuff to talk about in the NBA and NHL playoffs. And we'll get to a couple of stories that we really didn't have a chance to dive into yesterday. Hastings College adding men's volleyball to its list of competing sports beginning next season. And we'll be talking about the Nebraska softball team as they get ready for the Baton Rouge Regional coming up later on this week. In fact, we got some comments coming up from Husker head coach Rhonda Ravel. So all that and more is coming up here as you wake up, get going here on this Tuesday morning as we welcome in Tyson Havronic from the Western Studios here this morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome back to the Eastern Studios. I'm glad that you had a fun NASCAR trip over the weekend, but good to get things back in regular order, so to speak, as we get set for another work week. Other headlines bubbling under the surface and not so much under the surface if you're a St. Louis sports fan. 9 straight victories for the St. Louis Cardinals. And, God, how much better is it to all my Cubs fans out there? I mean, we've been both kind of cellar dwellers the last couple of years. Cubs have been mediocre, I think, and now they're really accelerating. How much better is the baseball season when you have Cubs and Cardinals at 1 and 2 in the NL Central? It just hits different. It just feels so much better. And a 1-game race now, Chicago, with the slight lead after the, let's say, first full month and a half of play. And it's more gratifying looking up at the standings when the Cubs and Cards are in a fight. And we're going to have a fun summer.
No, wait. We got 140 games to go or something like that. Things will change.
Oh, there's a very realistic possibility of that happening. But when you're a Cardinals fan and you have had 2 absolutely consecutive miserable summers, you enjoy the moments. You enjoy the time where you're accelerating towards the top of the standings, and start packing the damn park, Cardinals fans. I am so tired of watching Cardinals baseball games with a half-empty Busch Stadium, that's 35,000, and you're putting half of your fan base in there. Let's make it the greatest city for baseball once again. Start packing the dang park over at Busch Stadium. You got something to watch. You got a good product. Yes, the management has been an absolute eyesore, and they haven't purchased, and they haven't made moves to make this team very competitive. And these guys have said, screw all that. We're going to be competitive anyway. And that they put that aside, and they played some pretty damn good baseball. So Cards and Cubs, top of the standings. It's so much better.
Yeah, all right.
Ludog said he was going to say that yesterday.
We already got people chiming in. On our social media sites. A couple of other things going on. The Dallas Mavericks.
Wow.
They got the number one draft in the NBA draft. I don't know how this thing works. I never have been able to figure this thing out. The Mavericks had just a 1.8% chance to win the lottery, but they jumped up 10 spots to grab the top pick, the biggest move by any team in lottery history. So the Dallas Mavericks, now with the number one pick in the NBA draft, Duke's Cooper Flag is expected to be the number one pick. Do you care to explain how this draft lottery works?
If I knew how it worked, I would be I'd be more than happy to lend my expertise. I've thought it has been rigged for years. With the way some of these teams come and shoot up the draft order when they had the 1%. It's not like I don't understand why they can't make it simple. Like football's pretty simple. I guess it's to try to avoid teams diving at the very start of the year and just having a miserable season for a fan base. But if you're in the bottom 12 of the standings, you get so many lottery balls, right? And they all throw the lottery balls. So if like you're dead ass last, you get more lottery balls thrown into the big Powerball system or whatever the hell it is that they use nowadays, Keno machine, and you get so many of those, which ups your chances of being drawn. Meanwhile, if you're like Dallas, you only had like a 1% because you had very few balls in the pool, and they were able to pick Dallas. I don't like rewarding a team that shipped off their best player and kind of folded halfway through. When they took Luka to the LA Lakers, and now they get rewarded by getting Cooper Flag. So, yeah, if I knew the particulars, but I think that's like a very good way to layman's describe it. Is the worse you do, the more balls you get in the lottery, and the higher your chance of getting a first round draft pick.
You talk about NASCAR and their system of how they compete for their championship.
Well, that's kind of screwy.
This lottery system for the NBA, I've never been able to. I kind of know how it works, but I don't know how those teams are awarded little ping pong balls in the Keno machine that they pull out. Anyway, bottom line is Dallas, who had a 1.8% chance of landing the number one pick, got the number one pick last night. San Antonio is going to pick second, Philadelphia third, Charlotte fourth. The draft is going to take place on June 25th and 26th at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. And, yeah, a lot of people are saying Cooper Flag from Duke will be the number one pick, the 6'9" forward. Averaged 19 points, 7.5 rebounds, 4.2 assists, leading the Blue Devils of Duke into the Final Four at 35-4 this year. So Dallas Mavericks were the inside pick for the number one pick in the NBA draft.
The other weird thing that you can do, like with the lottery system, is the teams know in advance like where their lottery is at. Teams have the opportunity now at this point to trade those lottery picks, those lottery guaranteed picks for the future. So yeah, it is a screwy system. I wish I knew the full details on how it all works, but I haven't followed the NBA in a good hot minute, so I actively follow the NBA. This is the time where I follow the NBA. It's playoff time. Apart from the rest of the season, I really don't give a damn. That they, like many other sports, just too long, and they could shorten that baby up. And I would pay more attention to pivotal season standing races, but at the moment, just can't.
We're in the NBA playoffs right now. We're in the semifinals.
What happened last night?
Shall we get to that right now?
Might as well.
Way to slide right into that.
It's a beautiful transition, right?
NBA last night, the New York Knicks beat Boston 121-113. The Knicks lead the series 3-1. Minnesota got by Golden State 117-110. The Timberwolves now lead that series 3-1. Tonight you got Indiana at Cleveland, with the Pacers leading the series 3-1. Denver is at Oklahoma City tonight. That series is tied at 2 games apiece.
Let's go to the ice. The Carolina Hurricanes doing work for me. Rod Brindamar and the Hurricanes, big 5-2 win over top-seeded Washington last night. Carolina now 1 game away from clinching that series and heading to the Eastern Conference semifinals. Meanwhile, Edmonton reversed course after an embarrassing loss over the weekend. They shut out the Vegas Golden Knights by the score of 3-0. Edmonton moves up 3-1 in their respective series. They're now 1 match away from going to the conference semifinals, where they could face either the Jets or the Stars, who play tonight in Game 4. The Dallas Stars holding the 2-1 edge over the Winnipeg Jets. Connor Hellebuck has and he has allowed a crap ton of goals. Dallas will try to take a 3-1 advantage tonight when they're on home ice beginning at 7 p.m. on ESPN.
Another thing that dropped yesterday after we got done was they're starting to leak out the NFL schedule for this upcoming season. Okay. The Kansas City Chiefs going to host Denver on Christmas night. Game will be televised by Prime Video. Marks the 3rd straight year the Chiefs have played a game on Christmas Day. They hosted the Las Vegas Raiders in 2023 and played at Pittsburgh last year. So the Chiefs playing again on Christmas night this year against the Denver Broncos with a good matchup there.
And you know why they get all those Christmas games and holiday games and random Thursday night games on Prime or Saturday Night Football or whatever they want to do on these streaming subscription services is because your fan base is the one that's crazy enough to follow it. The Chiefs Kingdom has come out and they've continued to support that product and all these weird streaming places that they take games and weird times and streaming times. So they know if we're going to throw a game on Christmas night, we might as well have one of the bigger fan bases on the tube, and that's Chiefs Kingdom. So they pick up another primetime game on Christmas. Yeah, that's just what I want to do when I'm spending time with my family on Christmas evening is watch bad football.
What do you mean watch bad football?
It's 2 AFC West teams, man. Like, what do you want me to say? It's going to be great football with the Chiefs and Broncos. Listen, Denver has made some strides. Kansas City is still the top dog to beat in the AFC until somebody beats them. But as a Bills fan and a closet Raiders guy, like, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm excited for this matchup. Like,
you're the only one. You're the only one.
I'm on Ty's Island again. It's comfy over here.
Let's see. Prime Video has also announced its Black Friday game. Talking about ho-hum.
Oh, here we go.
The Bears against the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh.
That's your Black Friday game.
There you go.
We won't be watching it anyway because we'll have Nebraska and Iowa that day.
College football, right? Yeah.
The Eagles going to kick off the season on the Thursday night game like the Super Bowl champs usually do. They'll play the Thursday night opener on September 4th against Dallas. Marks the first Week 1 matchup between the NFC East rivals since 2000. So a good matchup there for the season opener. Philadelphia and Dallas. Brian Schottenheimer, new head coach for Dallas. That's going to be his debut. Mm-hmm. And the full NFL schedule will be announced tomorrow night. ESPN has got a big special for the NFL release.
Because they're running out of sports.
Are you telling me you guys are all going to get together again, your little group of sports guys, sports junkies? Are you going to get together for the NFL schedule release?
I don't think so. Like, that doesn't really have a whole lot of weight in terms of our fantasy football production. We probably will start to put some mock drafts together with the schedule release and at least start to separate, okay, where are the bye weeks going to be? What are my bye week hells going to look like if I'm going after these players? But you know, if you haven't even drafted yet, it's really hard to get all hyped about the schedule release party. I'm not big into schedules, you know. I've always been kind of like, whether it was coaching, whether it was playing, or whether it was just watching as a fan, who's next man up? Like, I don't care. Don't look ahead. I don't be like, oh my God, we got a grueling schedule. Just play. Line up against the team you're going to play and do your thing. I don't look too big into the big schedule release parties. I think it's ESPN as a way to market to the football fans who have been kind of starving here in the spring for some football news. The NFL draft gave them a little bit of taste, and you keep things rolling along with the schedule release party. And before you know it, we're going to be putting mock drafts together and having the ESPN heads talk about the top 100 players in fantasy football this year. So, and then blink of an eye, we're drafting in August.
Yeah, we're playing in September.
And we're playing in September.
Chris Berman, remain at ESPN through his 50th anniversary with the company, including a role in the network's Super Bowl coverage in 2027.
Nice.
Berman signed an extension that will carry him through 2029, when he would be the first ESPN employee to hit the 50-year mark. Berman joined ESPN less than a month after its September 1979 launch. ESPN is going to be covering the Super Bowl in 2027 from Los Angeles, and Berman will be a huge part of the Super Bowl coverage. That's kind of written into his deal for the next couple of years. So Chris Berman not going anywhere. He's staying at ESPN.
Before NFL Red Zone was as big as it's become, and before the NFL Network with their just 24/7 highlight shows that they play on NFL Sunday as part of like their NFL kickoff show, NFL Primetime was can't miss TV in its heyday with the classic music. I would say from like the mid 90s all the way to the early 2000s. They had the old classic highlight reels, and Berman set it up so beautifully. A perfect 1 hour show to recap everything you missed in the NFL. Primetime was can't miss TV. I love Chris Berman. Whether it's going back in the home run derby, or they're rumbling, bumbling, stumbling with Jerome Bettis and the Pittsburgh Steelers on their way to a touchdown. Just an icon over at ESPN, so good for him.
All right, 7:16, waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. Throat's kind of groggy today for some reason.
What's going on over there?
I don't know if the Sunday throws of the Kansas Speedway just now setting in on a Tuesday or what? Does it take a day or two for me to combat what I did on Sunday?
It shouldn't. My voice lets me know the very next day. It's like, oh, you went to a sporting event and you screamed the entire time. Here,
like an idiot.
Suffer.
Like an idiot up on the top row of the bleachers.
Oh, sure. I mean, like if I go to a Husker game the next Monday, I might as well find a replacement because my voice is going to be like this.
Yeah, squeaky.
Because I was yelling the entire time.
Nobody heard me. Nobody heard me because everybody else was
no,
yelling.
The people in front of hear me all the time.
Yeah.
Trust me.
I know.
They love me.
All right, 402-834-1330 is our telephone number. If you'd like to chime in with us here today, love to talk to you. Either something is on your mind, sports-related, something we're talking about, something is on your mind, or something not even in the sports scene.
Speaking of Kansas trip, did you see Matt Rule in Victory Lane?
I didn't get to Victory Lane, but I heard he was there.
Matt Rule was at Victory Lane. I didn't know he was a NASCAR guy.
He was just trying to figure out what it was for a winner.
It's getting used to it.
Yeah, he was down in Victory Lane with Kyle Larson. Yeah,
Yep.
Matt Rule was taking pictures. I guess how to act if you're a champion and you're going to be awarded a trophy. Maybe Matt Rule had to figure out how to act down there.
He's getting ready.
Rashid Rice was also at
Really?
the Kansas Motor Speedway. My daughter, we were watching the drivers come out. We had some passes, so we were down in the infield when the drivers came out to go to their cars and pit stalls.
Yeah.
And Rashid Rice comes walking out. My daughter yells at Rashid Rice. I didn't even – I saw him walking out, and I didn't know who he was. You know, there's all kinds of people down there.
Right.
My daughter yells at Rashid Rice, and he's trying to be incognito, I think, because he don't want the fans all
Right,
coming up and wanting autographs and everything.
Autographs on some die-cast cars.
Yeah, he's just trying to come out and just be cool. Mm-hmm. No, my daughter, she's yelling at the top of her lungs.
That didn't
Machine,
happen.
your machine, machine race. Yeah. God, he was trying to be incognito. He didn't stick around long.
And that's the thing, like, when those drivers come out, I wouldn't know the half of them on their faces. You know, I know what kind of car they drive, but other than that, like, you just see them driving in the car. I don't pay too much attention to NASCAR outside of that.
Yeah, you couldn't pick them.
Meetings, pass car. Like if Denny Hamlin came into First Street Brewing tomorrow and ordered a beer, I probably wouldn't recognize right off the top who it was.
Until you started talking to him.
Well, if you started talking about NASCAR.
Yeah, then you say, who is this guy? He kind of looks like Denny Hamlin.
But my guess is Denny Hamlin, if he goes out in public, is probably not like, oh, I drive a NASCAR every Sunday.
No, he's not going to sit there and tell everybody.
Like, I did have one, I'm pretty sure, professional golfer come into Sin City one time. He was like, yeah, I just, I golf a lot. And, yeah, I'm all over the place. I travel a lot. And I'm like, you perchance, but, like, you're not going to embarrass yourself and be like, oh, are you a PGA player? Like, I probably served Bryson DeChambeau or something and just had no idea. I don't recognize all these celebrities.
Riken does, my grandson.
Riken's a good spotter of celebrities.
Oh yeah, he can tell somebody walking a half a mile away. he took me down to the pits. It wasn't this year; it was like last year. Half a mile away, he says, "Here comes Alex Bowman. Here comes Joey Logano. Here comes Ross Chastain." Yeah, I couldn't pull those guys out.
Nope.
I know a handful that I could probably pull out. 10, maybe 15 I could pull out of a crowd.
Sure.
The rest of them I couldn't do it.
No.
So, anyway, that's what's going on there. We better get to a news break already. We got lots of things to do here. 7:21, waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
All right, it's a slow news day when we are leading with road construction for the Tri-Cities. The city of Grand Island announcing 2 road closures starting this week to support infrastructure improvements. Alpha Street will be closed to through traffic between 10th and 11th Street through Wednesday for concrete pavement repairs. Local access still available. Manchester Road closed west of Independence Avenue and the intersection to Viking Road until Friday, June 20th. That for water main work related to Independence Avenue project. Meanwhile, the city of Kearney will begin street repair work on 4th Avenue, extending about 250 feet south from 11th Street starting today. The street will be closed to through traffic, but local residents will still have access to their homes. That's good. Project is expected to last about 1 week, depending on weather conditions. Meanwhile, let's dive into the budget at the state capitol. As yesterday, the Nebraska legislature made some key adjustments to the state budget during their second round of debate, focusing on restoring funds to critical programs amid concerns over the future financial uncertainty. Yesterday, lawmakers voted 26-17 to restore $1.5 million per year for the next 2 years to the judicial system. The funds will be used to support the problem-solving courts, which offer alternatives to incarceration for DUI offenses, mental health issues, veterans, and drug-related cases in several counties. Lawmakers also voted 40-2 to restore $3 million for domestic violence services, including emergency housing and counseling. The legislature then voted 39-6 to give the main overall budget bill its second round approval. It now awaits final passage before being sent to Governor Jim Pillen for his signature. It is coming up on 7:24. Let's swing things back over to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's the haps in sports?
Well, the Nebraska men's basketball team will play Oklahoma at the Sanford Pentagon in Sioux Falls, South Dakota this year. The game will take place on Saturday, November 15th. It'll be just the second meeting between the two old conference foes since 2011. Nebraska finished 21-14 last year. Oklahoma was selected as the number 9 seed for the NCAA men's tournament and lost to Connecticut in the round of 64. They finished at 20-14. A Nebraska native with a long, successful history as a professional player will join the Nebraska women's basketball program as a graduate assistant manager for the 2025-2026 season. Marissa Kastanek graduated from Lincoln Southeast High School in 2009. After completing her first 2 seasons at Crete, she played collegiately at North Carolina State before her 12-year professional career in Poland, the Czech Republic, Sweden, and Puerto Rico. Elkhorn North beat Kearney 2-0 yesterday in the first round of the Class A Girls State Soccer Tournament in Omaha. The other winners included Lincoln Southwest, Omaha Marion, and Bellevue West. The Class A boys will take to the field today. Omaha Creighton Prep will play Papillion La Vista South in the first game, followed by Omaha Westside and Lincoln Southeast. Millard North will battle South Sioux City in the third game today. Then Omaha South will take on Lincoln Southwest. Again, in the NBA playoffs from last night, the Knicks beat Boston 121-113. The Knicks lead the series now 3-1. Minnesota got by Golden State 117-110. The Timberwolves lead that series 3-1. Tonight, Indiana is at Cleveland with the Pacers leading the series 3-1. Denver is at Oklahoma City. That series is tied at 2-2. NHL playoffs again. Carolina beat Washington 5-2. Edmonton knocked off Las Vegas 3-0. Carolina and Edmonton lead their respective series 3-1. Tonight, Winnipeg is at Dallas with the Stars leading that series 2-1. That's a check on your sports headlines this morning. 7:26 now on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Here's a look at your forecast for Tuesday and beyond. Today we'll have breezy conditions with south-southwest winds 10 to 20 with gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Plenty of sunshine and a high of 87. Overnight tonight, mostly clear skies, a low of 60 degrees, all the way up to 90 on Wednesday. Mostly sunny skies, still be breezy. Wednesday night, we'll have a chance of a few showers and thunderstorms. Some could be strong with large hail and damaging winds, especially to our north, and 78 on Thursday.
Right now, as you wake up, get going. We've got south winds at 7 miles per hour. It is sunny. It is 56 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10 mint today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
I'm John Butler, funeral director and owner at Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the advanced funeral planning specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Get ready for the ultimate trivia experience with Extreme Sports Trivia. Play from anywhere at home, on the go, or at your favorite bar or restaurant. Compete live against players from all over in real time. answering questions across categories like sports, pop culture, Marvel, and more. Want to see how you stack up? Track your progress with live leaderboards and aim for the top spot. It's free, fun, and super easy to play. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today at extremesports.com trivia and start playing now. And keep an eye out. We're coming soon to a bar or restaurant near you.
Get ready, race fans. Cam Raceway is teaming up with Extreme Sports for an electrifying season of high-speed, dirt-slinging, adrenaline-pumping action. Every race night, we're bringing you live video coverage straight from the track, so you won't miss a single lap, pass, or photo finish. From non-wing warriors to cage karts, flat karts, and the A-class wing beasts, we've got it all. There's nothing like the roar of the engines, the smell of burning rubber, and the rush of dirt flying action right in front of you. So get to the track and experience it live. But if you can't make it, don't sweat. Extreme Sports has you covered. Buckle up, because this season is going to be fast, fierce, and unforgettable. Make sure you like and follow Extreme Sports on Facebook to get all the latest updates, and we will see you at the track.
All right, Mike Willenstein, Center of Product. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for a Tuesday, the 13th of May. Thanks for joining us, whether you're online with us on our website at x-streamsports.com, maybe on your smartphone with our free mobile app, on your smart speaker, on Roku TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch, wherever you're listening to us at. Thanks for joining us for another day here on Huddle Up. Something we told you about yesterday, we really didn't have a chance to dive into it. Hastings College adding men's volleyball to its list of competing sports for the 2025-2026 season. The team will begin competing during the spring semester of 2026. Morningside and Dort also offer men's volleyball right now. The teams compete in the Great Plains Athletic Conference along with Jamestown, Kansas Wesleyan, Ottawa, and Central Christian. So we compete under the GPAC umbrella or banner, so to speak. But we got some teams mixed in there from the KCAC. Jamestown is back as well. So men's volleyball beginning this upcoming season for Hastings College, another sport that's gaining popularity. A lot of colleges and universities have already added men's volleyball. Hastings talked about it several years ago. That was kind of put on the back burner, and haven't heard a whole lot about it. And then out of the blue, here it comes. Hastings College adding men's volleyball to its list of offerings for the 2025-2026 season.
Yeah, you mentioned it. A sport gaining popularity, and you got to credit the women for shining a national spotlight on this, and the realization that this is pretty exciting. A lot of teams out in the West, like California, it's been big for years. It slowly kind of started to matriculate its way through and finally into the Midwest here, and now we're seeing more and more schools pick it up as an offering, and be exciting for the college to be able to go out there and compete and have an opportunity to showcase the sport in a different light in the spring.
All right, so it'll be coming up for Hastings College. Begins this upcoming season, so obviously we got to get a team together.
Yeah.
A coach together fairly rapidly, so we'll bring in some players and bring in a coach, and we'll compete beginning for the 2025-2026 season. Nebraska's softball, we told you yesterday, they are headed to Baton Rouge, Louisiana for the Baton Rouge NCAA Regional. They're going to play UConn in the opening round on Friday at 2. LSU, the tournament's number 10 overall seed, will play Southeastern Louisiana in the other game. So it'll be Nebraska and UConn, LSU, and Southeastern Louisiana competing in the Baton Rouge regional. Nebraska played down there evidently, in 2015. They went to 1-2 in that regional in 2015. But Nebraska kind of a staple in the NCAA softball tournament. This will be their 27th appearance and they're 23rd in the last 30 years. And most of those, I think probably all of them, under Rhonda Revelle, the head coach now for the Huskers. So,
yep. And it's I'm going to, dive into it a little bit. It's a winnable regional, but LSU is extremely tough to beat on their home field. I think we stack up well when Jordy Ball's playing her best. I think we stack up well. I think we stack up with the best teams in the country when Jordy Ball's on. Can she be on for 3 games to get you through that regional? I think you get by UConn. LSU is the one that scares me in the winners bracket. I know watching some of the national pundits, they have LSU slightly edging Nebraska, but they're all kind of putting eyeballs on this one. There's some extremely talented regional brackets. I think Tennessee has an extremely tough draw, but I really like the way the Pickett's been in the circle this year, and I think that they can probably get by that. But you look across the gamut, man, from Ole Miss to Mississippi State to Tennessee. You got Texas in there, and LSU, Oklahoma. It's SEC hard for women's softball. Cream of the crop, clearly resting in the Southeastern Conference, and so it'll be a lot of wood to chop, I think, for Nebraska to be able to pick up that regional victory. But that's one that a lot of people have their eyeballs on as a potential upset for the Cornhuskers, and so it'll be fun to watch. I'll be curious to see how we do in the environment with an LSU fan base that is. Really, really love their diamond sports, whether it's baseball or whether it's softball. They come out and support, so it'd be a tough atmosphere. But I think it's winnable for Nebraska if we're playing our best.
Texas A&M is the number 1 overall seed for softball. Oklahoma, number 2 overall seed. 7 out of the top 8 seeds are from the SEC. Mm-hmm. In fact, 14 of the 15 teams in the SEC have made the NCAA tournament. I can
that's
ask you.
Good.
Yeah, 14 out of the 15. There's only one that's not going to play in the tournament.
Vanderbilt?
Nope.
Oh, it's not Missouri, is it?
Yep. Missouri.
They didn't make it?
Yeah, 14 out of 15 teams in the SEC are in the tournament. Missouri is the only team not to make the tournament this year. So
that's not too second guess. That's not too bad.
Not too bad. You must follow a little SEC action, huh?
I follow a little softball. I know teams that were kind of on the bubble. I know Missouri didn't have the greatest of years. I watched a few of their games this year, and yeah, that's tough. That's a tough break. You're being like that's like the beer frame in bowling, right? Where everybody bowls a strike, and you get up there and you're like, throw one in the gutter. You have to come back and you just put your head down. You're the only one out of the conference not to make the tournament. That's tough.
Anyway, we met up with Rhonda Revelle following the selection show on Sunday night. We were able to get to her yesterday, but we'll hear from her this morning. Rhonda Revelle, the veteran head coach for the Huskers, obviously happy with making the NCAA tournament.
Well, the first thought is it was nice. I thought we were in, so you didn't have that anxiety of, being a bubble team, so that was nice. And I feel like our body of work has been strong. I feel like we've been playing well lately. I gave you a high five a few weeks ago because we had an air-free weekend on defense. I just feel like our pitching's been really consistent. Our hitting's been pretty consistent throughout, and defense too. So I feel like we're in a good place, and we're healthy. And so I just feel like we'll be primed and ready to. I told the team after the UCLA game, I thought we really needed, not a loss, but we needed a game with that kind of competition. And I felt like it was a primer to what we're going to face in postseason. So, I feel like we're ready to go, and we'll be ready to go.
And Rhonda Revelle says the team is playing with a lot of confidence right now.
Yeah, there's the calmness of it all. Like I said, they were excited, but there's a confidence about it because they know that they've put in the work. And we've gotten a lot better as the season has gone on and trusting our preparation and just kind of having that quiet confidence because they've earned it. They've earned their talent. They've earned their numbers. They've earned this position. And I just want them to really trust we're going to be prepared. We never doubt that. And I just want them to trust that preparation and go out and be able to perform and really just go for it.
Again, we talked about the SEC dominance in softball. We've got an SEC team in our regional and the number 10 overall seed in LSU.
It's another team. We've played a lot of SEC teams. Of course, they're a terrific softball conference. I will say this, I'm really proud of the Big Ten. We got 8 schools in. We're trending in the right direction. We got 2 national seeds. So, I know the Big Ten's going to keep pushing just because we play in a little bit different climate. Doesn't mean that we can't play softball in this part of the country. And so I hope that we can all get in the tournament and really make some noise.
Nebraska pitcher Jordy Ball has won a national championship with Oklahoma. So obviously, Rhonda says they're going to lean on her a little bit for a little bit of experience here in postseason play.
I think it's a real benefit. In fact, for about the last 6 weeks, we've had one person a week kind of do a message of the week. And I've actually had one of our captains, McKinley, pick who gives that message. And she told me this week she thought Jordy should give it because of where she's been in postseason. And we would be foolish not to lean on her experience in postseason. So the fact that she's been there, done that a couple of times is really important.
So that's Rhonda Revelle. The Huskers starting their postseason play this week as they take on UConn in the first round of the Baton Rouge, Louisiana Regional. That'll be a 2 o'clock game on Friday. The Huskers 39-13 in the season. The Huskies are 35-17. LSU 41-14. They'll play the second game against Southeastern Louisiana 30-20. A double elimination affair in the 4-team regional. So Huskers, yeah, I'm with you. We could win the darn thing, but we could certainly lose it too. There's not a gimme here on this one.
Oh, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, UConn's no gimme either. I mean, right out of the gates, you can't be looking ahead at LSU if you look past UConn and UConn goes and nips you. So you got to go out and you got to get game one. You don't want to make this double elimination 4-team pod and have to come up the hard way. You want to be out in the driver's seat and have everything in front of you. So I mean, a really pivotal game. Game 1 Friday at 2 p.m. against the Lady Huskies. So. Huskies, 2 p.m. Friday. That'll be can't miss TV viewing here in the Hevronic household.
The Nebraska baseball team, they'll play their final game of the regular season coming up this weekend. I think it's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series this weekend at Purdue. And then hopefully the Huskers can scratch their way into the Big Ten tournament that's coming up. And then we'll see what happens. The Huskers have been up and down all season long, mostly down. I think we're right about the 500 mark right now. So the Huskers will have one more series left at Purdue coming up this weekend. We're 26-26 in the season, 13-14 in the conference.
Our ups have been way up. I mean, the ups are NCAA tournament resume material. You win against a SEC powerhouse in Vanderbilt. You take 2 from Oregon State. You walk off against Michigan with a 3-run jack, and we've taken down top 25 Kansas. Our ups have been way up, but the lows are the hangover factor. When you get these big wins, you got to be able to establish and continue that momentum, and we've really struggled at continuing forward momentum. You hope that you can pick up 3 here against Purdue, or at least 2 out of 3, win the series, get your way into the Big Ten baseball tournament, and then everybody starts from scratch, right? I mean, it's a brand new season. Work your way through the postseason tournament. Hell, we did it, but we did it last year. Why would we expect anything else from Will Bolton and this Husker baseball team? But a big pivotal weekend to take 2 and get yourself into to conference postseason.
Locally, sports activity going to shine on state soccer for Hastings High boys. They're the number 2 seed in Class B. They're going to play Elkhorn North in the opening round of the state soccer tournament on Thursday at 3. Both the Adams Central and Hastings High baseball teams will play in the state tournament on Saturday. Hastings High with a tough draw In Class B, the number 8 seed, and they'll be up against number 1 and number 1 ranked Omaha Skutt and the number 1 seed, Omaha Skutt, on Saturday at 10. And then Adams Central will play Saturday night at 7 against Wayne. Adams Central, the number 3 seed. We heard from head coach Tim Stroman yesterday on the show. We're going to catch up with Blake Marquardt, the head coach for Hastings High. We'll have him on the show tomorrow. But Hastings High, Omaha Skutt Saturday at 10. Adams Central and Wayne Saturday night at 7. The Hastings High game will be at UNO. And the Adams Central game will be at Fricky Field in Omaha. We'll have both games for you Saturday here on Extreme Sports. So we invite you to join us for some good baseball action coming up this Saturday right here on Extreme Sports.
What time's takeoff on Saturday morning? Bright and early, 9:45 start.
It'll be early.
Yeah, it'll be an early morning riser. Head down the road. 281 and catch some good baseball. And you know this thing about Tigers, man. Like, you can't count them out at this point. The Cardiac Kids, you looked at the way that score was against Ralston, and I shut the phone off thinking, well, that's unfortunate. That was a good season. I'm getting to a district final, and next thing you know, I got people texting me left and right, and they're like, "You see the Tigers?" I'm like, "Yeah, it was a rough one." Not even opening up the score, like I'm like, that was tough. That's a good Ralston team. They're like, "No, they won." I'm like, "Burp." I had to do a double glance, and yeah, what a comeback victory. So you can't count out Blake Marquardt's boys. Obviously, Skutt's cream of the crop in Class B. We know it. They say it all the time, and it's 21 outs, man. Baseball's going to baseball. If you can keep and stay in the ball game early on, give yourself a fighting chance down the stretch, good things might happen. So with just 21 outs to play with, it's anybody's ball game, and excited to see the Tigers get underway on Saturday, as well as the AC Patriots, who stomped on the accelerator and played some really good, clean baseball this past Friday. I did want to make mention today, on this 13th day of May, it is National Apple Pie Day today. If you're a fan of the pie, apple pie. It is also National Fruit Cocktail Day today. Doesn't say anything about adding some booze to the mix, so feel free. And it is, for whatever reason, National Leprechaun Day today. I would think that would be in March somewhere, but to all those leprechauns out there, wish you the very best here on the top of the morning to you.
Yeah, I don't know. Some of those days are at weird times of the year.
What the hell does leprechauns have to do with May 13th?
Yeah. Why is Leprechaun Day stuck in the middle of May? I don't know. And Apple Pie Day, you would think would be, we could find out some other point of the year to drop in Apple Pie Day, like maybe toward the holidays.
I don't know.
Of course, apples being grown now, and maybe Grandma will cook you up an apple pie.
Though the exact history of National Leprechaun Day is unknown, it is celebrated every year on May 13th. So they don't even have the history on it.
So they don't know why we celebrate Leprechaun Day?
We just do.
We just do? So we're supposed to get out our favorite leprechaun suit?
You have a leprechaun suit?
I do not.
Okay. I was going to say, you have a chicken suit. I didn't know you had a leprechaun suit. I was pretty excited for like half a second.
No, I don't have a leprechaun suit. Waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. It says 7:48 now on Extreme Sports. Huddle up again. If you'd like to chime in with us, you can. Love to chat with you. 402-834-1330. 402-834-1330. You can also leave us a message on our social media sites here. We're monitoring those comments as well. Lou Dog has checked in on your St. Louis Cardinals and Chicago Cubs. He's a Cubs summer. He's a Cubs fan, isn't he?
Oh yeah. There's several Cubs fans on the show. Crew Chief Endorf, also a Cubs fan. We are playing each other in fantasy baseball this week. It's Tires and Sodas versus Crew Chief, and I'm looking to snap a 4-game losing streak. This was a league that I was invited to, and I had to take over a team that was in really rough shape. It's a keeper league, so I dumped everybody and started from scratch. So you might know we're going to take some knocks early on as this team builds into a powerhouse, like my fantasy baseball league that I'm in with several of my baseball boys. But we made a spot start today, so watch out for Cade Povich, the Husker. He's getting the start for the Baltimore Orioles today against the Minnesota Twins, so we're making a spot start. I got to make up some room. I have about 1,000 guys on the injured list. Hunter Green, Tyler Glasnow, Jazz Chisholm. Some of my mainstay starters that I was going to have on this team have all plunked out early with some injuries, so I've had to get really creative, and so we're turning into a Husker today. Cade Povich going up against the Minnesota Twins.
Wonderful.
I just thought I'd throw that in there.
That is wonderful. Did Stroman get his lineup in this week?
Did Tim win? Let's take a gander. Well, we'll get you an update on the other league.
Stroman's in the fantasy NASCAR league with me.
Didn't get his lineup?
Well, he's had the same lineup for like 3-4 weeks in a row. So this week he changed his lineup, and like he told us yesterday in the show, he took Martin Truex Jr. in the Kansas race.
You got dead ass last?
No, he didn't even run.
How does that work?
No, he's only running a limited schedule.
Mm-hmm.
He retired last year, and he's running just a handful of races for 2025. Kansas Speedway was not one of them. Oops. Stroman finished dead ass last.
Stroman lost last week, but he's currently leading this week by a pretty sizable margin. Same with me. The Sons of Pitches are well up in their matchup. Both Stroman and I are trying to reverse course. I actually picked up the win last week, but didn't quite get the high score. If you get the high score every week, you get added bonuses, and I missed it by 20 points. This is the team that I started a very similar situation. I took over a fantasy baseball team that somebody just left, and so I had to start from scratch, and now it's towards the top. It's trending. It's where I'm competing for the top score every single week because it's just that good. And so when I don't get top score, I actually feel disappointed. It's not about wins and losses anymore. It's going after top scorers. And I was just about 15 points shy. So but Stroman lost.
Your team name is Sons of Pitches?
Yeah, it's great, right? Sons of Pitches.
Where'd you come up with that?
Honestly, one of my most creative sparks I've ever had for fantasy baseball. and like if we took a travel softball team together, and if we got together and like did like men's D league, because let's be honest, we're going to be in the rec league, it would definitely be Sons of Pitches. I think it's the best softball team name for a beer league softball team, best fantasy baseball team name that I could come up with. I'm stoked about it.
It caught my ear right there when you were rattling on about your fantasy baseball league. It caught my ear. You just got to make sure you enunciate that last word.
Sons of Pitches.
Sons of Pitches. All right, 7:52. Waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning on Huddle Up. Good morning.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Let's start off at the state capitol, where yesterday the Nebraska legislature making key adjustments to the state budget during second round of debate, focusing on restoring funds to critical programs amid concerns over future financial uncertainty. Lawmakers voting 26-17 to restore $1.5 million per year for the next 2 years to the judicial system, the funds supporting problem-solving courts, which offer alternatives to incarceration for such things like DUI offenses and mental health issues, veterans, and drug-related cases in several counties. Lawmakers also voting 40-2 to restore $3 million annually for domestic violence services, including emergency housing and counseling. The legislature voted then 39-6 to give the main budget its second round approval, now awaiting final passage before being sent to Governor Jim Pillen for his signature. City of Grand Island announcing 2 road closures starting this week to support infrastructure improvements. Alpha Street will be closed to through traffic between 10th and 11th through Wednesday for concrete pavement repairs. Local access still available. Manchester Road closed west of Independence Avenue to the intersection of Viking Road. This will be closed until Friday, June 20th for water main work related to Independence Avenue project. Meanwhile, the city of Kearney will begin street repair work on 4th Avenue, extending 250 feet south from 11th Street starting today. The street will be closed through traffic, but local residents will still have access to their homes. The project is expected to last about 1 week, depending on weather conditions. Coming up on 5 Minutes Till, we'll spin things over to the East Side Studios, where I don't believe there's any construction projects happening. Mike, what's going down in sports?
Well, the Nebraska men's basketball team will play Oklahoma at the Sanford Pentagon in Sioux Falls, South Dakota this year. The game will take place on Saturday, November 15th. It'll be just the second meeting between the two old conference foes since 2011. Nebraska finished 21-14 last year. Oklahoma was selected as the number 9 seed for the NCAA men's tournament and lost to Connecticut in the round of 64. They finished 20-14. A Nebraska native with a long, successful history as a professional player will join the Nebraska women's basketball program as a graduate assistant manager for the 2025-2026 season. Marissa Kastanek graduated from Lincoln Southeast High School in 2009. After competing her first 2 seasons at Crete, she played collegiately at North Carolina State before a 12-year professional career in Poland, the Czech Republic, Sweden, and Puerto Rico. Elkhorn North beat Kearney 2-0 yesterday in the first round of the Class A Girls State Soccer Tournament in Omaha. The other winners included Lincoln Southwest, Omaha Marion, and Bellevue West. The Class A boys will take to the field today. Omaha Creighton Prep will play Papillion La Vista South in the first game, followed by Omaha West Side against Lincoln Southeast. Millard North will battle South Sioux City, and Omaha South will take on Lincoln Southwest. That's a check on your sports headlines this morning, 7:56 now on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Here's a look at your forecast for Tuesday and beyond. Today we'll have breezy conditions with south-southwest winds 10 to 20 with gusts up to 30 miles per hour. Plenty of sunshine and a high of 87. Overnight tonight, mostly clear skies, a low of 60 degrees, all the way up to 90 on Wednesday. Mostly sunny skies, still be breezy. Wednesday night we'll have a chance of a few showers and thunderstorms. Some could be strong with large hail and damaging winds, especially to our north, and 78 on Thursday.
Right now, we've got sunny skies. Tim stands at 56 in Hastings. The wind's blowing out of the south at 7 miles per hour on Extreme Sports.
Cam Raceway brings the action every Friday night with high-speed thrills and dirt-flying excitement for the whole family. From A-class and non-wing warriors to junior sprints, junior cage karts, and flat karts, there's something for every race fan to cheer for. Grandstands open at 7. Ages 13 and up are just $10, and kids 12 and under get in free. Want to be part of the action? Pit passes are just $20, with gates opening at 5:30. And mark your calendars. Saturday, May 24th is the Deb Bruntz Memorial Show, featuring $20,000 in total purse and some of the best racing you'll see all season. Cam Raceway, where the dirt flies and legends are made.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
Accessible and affordable holistic care is just around the corner at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center. Located at 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings. At Bamboo Spa, we offer a range of therapies to help you unwind and recharge. Experience soothing massages, rejuvenating head spa scalp treatments, and our Advanced Glow 2 facials. Discover the healing power of ozone therapy and frequency healing. Become a member for exclusive 24-hour access to our therapeutic amenities, including the infrared sauna, hydro massage, and cryo lounge. Members enjoy 20% off all services and 10% off products in our non-toxic retail shop. Visit our Facebook page to learn more and book your appointment today. Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, truly holistic care, designed for you.
Get ready for the ultimate trivia experience with Extreme Sports Trivia. Play from anywhere at home, on the go, or at your favorite bar or restaurant. Compete live against players from all over in real time, answering questions across categories like sports, pop culture, Marvel, and more. Want to see how you stack up? Track your progress with live leaderboards and aim for the top spot. It's free, fun, and super easy to play. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today at extremesports.com trivia and start playing now. And keep an eye out. We're coming soon to a bar or restaurant near you.
Mike Wells, High Center Product, with you on this Tuesday morning as we get you out the door here today. When you're gone for a couple of days, I dread coming back to the Eastern Studios today. Well, then you open up your emails and you haven't really responded to anybody for like 3 days.
Yeah, hell no.
4 days. So you just go to the top and click delete all and delete all your emails and start over again? Or do you actually go through each and every email and say, all right.
Oh, that's outstanding.
That's trash. That's trash. Oh, no, I better respond to this guy.
Yeah. The way I did it when I came back from vacation, man, I selected all and deleted all. And it'd be like a week's vacation, and I'm like, if I missed it, I probably missed it. It was probably in a window of my vacation. At this point, it's the onus is on you. Like, I didn't reply to it. If it's really important, you'll send me another email to get my immediate reaction. Yeah, I'm a select. I go to the left hand side, hit the little box, it highlights it all in blue, and I'm like, delete. I don't want to waste time sifting through all those emails. Yeah, I'm with you. I used to hate taking vacation, actually, when I worked in the industry for 18 years, because nobody did your crap. Like, nobody pitched in to like help out or organize things or make sure that the table was nice and set for you when you got back to the office. It was a disaster. I had more work to do when I got back. You had to do more work just to go on vacation, and then you had a mountain of work to do when you got back. So there was times like in the career where I dreaded taking vacation to the point where I didn't, just because nobody pitched in to help. So
I don't know if I went on vacation. I was just gone.
You went on a NASCAR vacation.
I was gone out of the office for a couple of days.
Are you gonna? You can call it work technically, since you did the show from there.
Yeah, I did. I'm not calling it a vacation. I told my bookkeeper that.
Right.
This is not
Putting
vacation.
This on the company card.
Yeah, I say do not charge my my vacation pay with this because I'm doing a show. That's how I got out of it.
Beautiful.
So I still have my allotted 4 days of vacation.
We get 4 days. I'm new. Like I didn't really read the contract in full when I signed it. Like
you didn't read the employee manual?
It's like the terms and conditions when you're opening up a new software, and it's like, do you agree to these terms? And you scroll all the way to the bottom, and
you just say click. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You don't read that crap. You don't read the fine print. Speaking of today, let's get your TV guide out for you. This is a great day for the quad box for baseball fans, especially Husker baseball fans. I already mentioned Cade Povich. He's getting the start today against the Minnesota Twins. That contest is set for 5:30. Of course, you got the Cardinals going for 10 straight wins against the Phillies. That 5:45, Sonny Gray takes the bump for the Cardinals, trying to get to 10 wins in a row. The Cubs, the direct opposition, one game in front of St. Louis in the NL Central. They play the Miami Marlins at 6:45. And then another Husker, Spencer Schwellenbach, getting the nod for the Atlanta Braves. That's a very palatable matchup as Atlanta takes on the Nats of Washington. Good opportunity for Schwelly to get to win number 2 on the campaign. So both Povich and Schwellenbach throwing on the same day today.
Racing, there's practice today for the Indy 500.
It's practice. Are you going to watch practice?
I probably will.
Are you going to watch practice? We ain't talking about a race. We're not talking about a game. We're talking about practice.
Well, the Indy 500 is like they have like 400 days of practice, and then they got to do this, and then they finally get down to qualifying here in a couple of weeks, and then they have, and it's a month-long deal for the Indy 500. Kyle Larson will probably be practicing today at Indy.
You're going to watch practice. That has no implications on the race whatsoever, right?
No, it's just practice.
Watching Indy cars go round and round and round and round and round.
It's just practice.
There's 4 good baseball games on today.
But there's just practice.
There's hockey playoffs. There's NBA. Practice. Come on, man.
Come on, man. You're going to watch practice?
Whatever makes you happy, man. Whatever makes you happy.
I got other things I got to do today. I'm so far behind. I got other things I got to do today. But I'm going to watch practice.
My big one is installing the underground sprinklers today. We're getting those babies hooked up and ready to roll.
Underground sprinklers?
Lawn's looking a little dry.
You're going to put underground sprinklers in your house?
Yeah, I like just hitting the button.
Where did that come from?
I had them last year.
You did? You're just going to get them?
Then you got to disconnect it, and you got to drain the pools for the winter so that you don't have... Yeah. And I just took one look at my lawn yesterday. Ooh, that's dry.
So you're going to get the guys out to get it back up and running?
We're going to do that. Going to do that today. We're going to catch up with Blake Marquardt, get him ready to roll for tomorrow, and
wow,
a full day in the Western Studios.
What time are they going to turn the water on in the yard? Maybe I'll come over.
There you go. You want to come over? You do what I do, and you just sit back and
say, "Are we ready yet? Let me turn the knob."
That's my favorite activity.
I did water my front yard yesterday. It looked awful when I came back.
Sure.
My backyard is atrocious. I don't know if I have any grass back there or not.
There's no saving it, Doctor.
I'm going to try to throw some water on it today to see if it comes out. I'm not
I
a
can
lawn
just see
guy.
you with a pitcher of water and going, there. Drink.
The IT guy is going to kind of take over the right to my yard. He says we got to get this thing looking better than this. So he's already killed my dandelions. Now he informs me that I've got a fertilizer treatment coming up this week, and I'm supposed to water.
Uh-huh.
And I'm supposed to mow all before Thursday.
We got to get the IT guy a shirt, by the way.
For what? Lawn maintenance?
Just a shirt in general. He came out yesterday when you were having some internet problems.
Yeah, he did.
The camera was still on, and we're like, oh, no.
Oh, the camera was on?
Oh, yeah, like, Shaner, put a shirt on, buddy.
Oh, I didn't know he was out there. And I thought since we were disconnected, the camera was disconnected, too.
Nope. That was shirtless and all. That was great.
Well, you should have seen what he had on his bottom part of his body.
Glad I didn't.
Wow. I don't know if he even realized that. He'll find out.
It was the highlight of my morning.
It was. Seeing Shana without a shirt on.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, it sounds like we got a pretty exciting day planned. I hope you do, too.
Busy.
Yeah, busy day. If you'd like to listen to this show again, you can. Go to our podcast section on all of our social media sites. You'll be able to download this show again, listen to it at your leisure. That's what a lot of people are doing. We realize as we track things, a lot of people evidently can't make it up by 7 o'clock. So they just listen to us like at 2 in the afternoon. They catch the podcast, or 4 o'clock at night or overnight, maybe during your noon hour. Mm-hmm. But that's okay. That's okay as long as you listen to us. It pays our bills at this place.
I like that.
All right. Well, good luck with your sprinklers.
Thanks, bud.
And good luck on your day of baseball.
Can't wait.
We'll get back here again tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. Huddle up on Extreme Sports. Have yourself a great day.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports.